So the people, when they saw me convulsing, they were like, Yahweh, Abu said the gala. So instead of treating me, they went herbal.
Hello, welcome to the show, my dear pal. I'm Babazi Anna for you here again, and I remind you, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. And thank you for always keeping it right here and always choosing to watch Spike TV Uganda. I am so blessed that I have you right here. So, as of today, I'm not going to take long into the introduction process, but as of today, we are going into the healthy department. We are going into the healthy sector. You have always been seeing us into entertainment, into politics, into other various sectors of the society, but today we have chosen to go healthy, to go into the healthy, because we understand that our viewers need to be healthy, need to understand everything that is a matter into the healthy department. So of today, we are having a very beautiful lady, and her name says it all. She's called Christine, and she's a woman with a disability called cerebral palsy. And most of you do not know this. You don't know this disability. Cerebral palsy, but she's going to help us understand more about this issue. In case you have a friend who has it, in case you have a sister, a child, you have to know these things so that you don't misfire in anything that comes along. I'm so happy to have you on the show, Madam Chirunji.
Thank you very much, Madam Mbawazi, for hosting me today on this show. My name's Chirunji Christine. I'm the Executive Director of Uganda National Association of Cerebral Palsy. I'm living with cerebral palsy disability. I acquired it at the age of 9, and right now I'm an adult.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can actually acquire it when you're already an adult. I mean, you're already 9.
Yes, yes. Cerebral palsy is a disability that affects the developing brain of a child or a person. The
developing brain?
Yes. Oh. The injury can be before birth, during delivery, or after birth at that early age. Cerebral palsy doesn't affect an adults or people who have already, their brains have already developed. Yes. If any person gets an injury on the brain and their brains have already been developed, that one is a stroke, not cerebral palsy. So the word cerebral palsy comes from the cerebrum. That part of the brain is the one that gets the injury, and then the palsy. Then the palsy is the injury or the palsy that has already occurred, the injury on that part. So that disability comes up with a name or
cerebral.
Yes, cerebral palsy.
Okay. So Chirunji, when you let's go back to the age 9, because if at all there is a parent right there watching and she or he has a child at the age of 8 or 9, or a child with a maturing, developing brain, if I may say, what happened? What caused it? What brought that damage? What really occurred at the time when you were 9 years?
Okay. First of all, I will say that cerebral palsy is one of the category of disability that it's on increase, mostly in African countries or developing countries, and it's even more worse in Uganda. The causes are very many. As I had said, that a child can acquire cerebral palsy before birth when a expecting parent falls sick and doesn't get a right attention and treatment. So the developing part of the brain of a child is damaged. Still, when that child is born, will get the cerebral palsy. And then during delivery, most parents, you find that they take long in labor. Instead of being rushed to the theater for operation, by the time the child is born, the child is already tired. And one of the first signs that the child has acquired this cerebral palsy during delivery, when the child doesn't cry.
Oh.
That first cry is very important, is healthy for the developing brain, because that first cry opens the brain. The brain receives that oxygen on earth when the child is on earth. So when that is cut off, meaning that part will not develop, it will get an injury. And that's the beginning of cerebral palsy.
So can the doctors see that issue there and then? When
Yes, of course, doctors do know. If the expectant mother is in the hands of professionals, they do know that really something may happen to this child. Because even the child, you can see that the child is weak, the breathing is not fine, and even some of them, they tend to change color. Yes. So any medical personnel, but because most of them, they will not immediately tell the parents. Yes, they will not. I think it's part of their professional ethics.
They have a cure there and then. Can they do something about it?
No, it doesn't have a cure. But when the diagnosis is done earlier, and they get to know that this child has cerebral palsy, early interventions bring higher chances of a child's life to improve.
Oh, so it's more of improving, not curing.
Yes, cerebral palsy has no cure. Okay. Though some of them, they say they operate the brain, they use stem therapy, but cerebral palsy has no cure. When the interventions are initiated at an early stage, the person can improve, they cannot be healed totally.
So you have told us about a child who is being birthed. What about the one who is already on this planet but still having the developing brain?
Yes. Now, the one who is already born, let me say from 0 to 5, maybe 9 years,
10.
Children fall sick, suffer from malaria. Like for my case, it was cerebral malaria. It wasn't identified earlier, so I didn't get the treatment, the proper treatment at hand. So for my case, when I got it, nobody was at home, like the elders. Again, I stayed there, people thinking I've skipped like witchcraft because I was convulsing, I was stiff. So
almost a dog.
Yes, so people, they kept on, using the herbs, the local medicine, yet it wasn't the case. I slept. Remember, I got it during the day. Of course, me, I lost consciousness. I didn't know anything when all that happened.
So wait a minute. I want us to go very, very slow because this is now a very common thing amongst the people. You get malaria.
Yes.
And in most cases, they just self-medicate.
Yeah.
We have so what were the symptoms that, because I don't think it just came and you started, having these issues. I have a feeling there are symptoms and signs that happened. It just didn't happen in that one day. So what was that first happened to you that you noticed you're not okay, but actually
I would say that yes, I used to fall sick. Malaria, get quinine, chloroquine.
Which kind of malaria is this that we're talking about?
Yes, the usual malaria.
The usual
Yes,
malaria.
they take you to the clinic, they give you chloroquine, you take and you're fine. But on that day, my siblings, for them, they said they were nothing, observing me having tremors. But inside me as a person, I was not seeing that. So they didn't take it serious. So,
what are tremors?
like I was shaking. Like the hands when I'm handling something, the shimmy is shaking. Say, Christine, you're shaking. But in me, I was not feeling anything. So from nowhere, I think the malaria has been inside, but it just came like abruptly, so strong, and it raised. So I lost consciousness and I fell down. I started convulsing. So the people, when they saw me convulsing, they were like, Yahweh, abuse dagala. So instead of treating me, they went herbal. So I stayed another night when I'm convulsing, and then I became stiff. It's another the following day in the evening when I was rushed in the hospital. And to make the matter worse, because when they rushed me to the hospitals, the medical personnel who were there at that time, because I was stiff, they thought it was tetanus. So they treated me with tetanus medicine. So that was the scenario, but the actual thing, because from there they tried to treat me, they changed. Lucky enough, I'm told there was a doctor, those who come like from abroad, they come to treat people. So he said, let's change the medication. They isolated me, they changed. And after when I improved a little, they referred us to Mulago, where we stayed for some good months. They did all the checkup and they realized that the malaria were damaged part of my brain. Yes, that one. So you find that when the child is in that range of the developing brain, some of them, they get accidents, like hitting their head down. You may not realize it immediately, but as the child is growing, you start noticing some changes. So my child is not sitting, my child is taking long to respond. Yeah, to respond, yet other children are now sitting, are standing, are walking. You did not notice that the child got such an accident.
But you know, it's very, very worrying. It's very worrying that they even, the fact that they delayed to take you to the hospital is another issue.
Yes.
But the fact that they took you to the hospital and the medical personnel thought it was tetanus.
Yes.
Oh my God. How are we going to deal with a society like this, where we believe people can cure you after checking, not by using eyes, because I feel they saw signs and symptoms of tetanus, so they thought it was tetanus.
Yes.
Do you think there is any advice that you can give people so that they can help themselves understand this issue without fully 100% relying on the medical personnel? Because they're human beings too.
I would say that this condition is medical. It needs professionals really to understand. It's only that the training our medical personnel go through, it needs to be a thorough training for them to understand such incidences, because it's like many people go to class, but they do not understand the same. When they go to the field, everybody will find interpreting their things differently. So, and in this case, also would say that we need more awareness, so that the people who are around, they can help really to give the history of what has really happened, so that the medical personnel maybe can be supported to come up with the right prescription. I'm not sure, maybe the people who took me to the hospital, the explanation they gave, maybe it did not really make the medical personnel to get the right, you know, yes. But this condition, if enough awareness is raised, parents can understand it. Because there are very, very many children with cerebral palsy. When you visit Mulago CP Clinic, you can really say, wow, this disability is on increase. But unfortunately, no medical attention has been paid to this condition. To raise more awareness about it, to educate people, how can you really prevent such condition, this disability from happening? because you see that, like maybe AIDS, HIV, people are getting to know more awareness.
No wonder it's no longer killing
Yes,
people like it used
but
to.
now you cannot even know how many children have cerebral palsy because there is no conclusive research that has been done on cerebral palsy. So it really, this condition calls the Ministry of Health to give it a specific attention and raise awareness. They raised awareness on polio, and now it's not a serious threat to the country. But now, cerebral palsy is a disability that one cannot have only cerebral palsy.
Oh.
You find a person or a child with cerebral palsy has multiple disability. Most people with cerebral palsy, they have issues with sight. Their sight is not okay. They have issues with hearing.
Is it a must? Everyone who has it?
Not everyone. It depends on how big the injury. But again, most of them, they have issues with epilepsy. Most children with cerebral palsy, if they are not put on the epilepsy medication at an early stage, it grows. So all those, you know, they make them to be severely vulnerable.
So someone who is watching us right now, we are so grateful that you have chosen to watch us. And as you noticed, we are talking about cerebral palsy, this disability that affects a certain part of the brain. So as you've heard, if you're a parent, a sister, a brother, a medical personnel, whatever department of life that you are in right now, you need to understand this information, because as you've heard, we neglect this issue, yet it is a very, very serious issue. And it comes from things that we think are normal. Someone has just fallen. She got malaria at a young age of 9 years. She didn't have it before. So as a matter of fact, as we have heard from her, as long as this brain is still developing, it is in danger. You have to protect this child from having, from receiving this kind of disability. So we have to protect them. We have to protect them. Stop self-medication, please. Stop. You see, they were treating tetanus. That has actually been a very big concern to me. No wonder I'm repeating it over and over again. So what are the main challenges that a person with cerebral palsy goes through that maybe us from the outside world we might not get?
Wow. I will say that if a family gets a person with cerebral palsy, first of all, it's very expensive to take care of that person, because the task of taking care of that person is a 24-hour task. In most cases, those people cannot do anything for themselves. Even me, when I had just left Mulago Hospital, I stayed in Mulago Hospital for almost like 6 months, being admitted there. But when I went home, I couldn't do anything for myself. So I went back to the babyish
kind of
stage.
lifestyle.
I cannot shift myself from one position to another because all my nerves were again back, powerless. So you can imagine that a parent who is taking care of that person cannot be engaged in any other activity.
I'm sorry for interrupting. You were in Mulago, your nerves were down, and maybe someone else is going through that. How have you got to the point that you can now move on your own, you can now eat on your own? Because we were walking around with you. You're well. To me, you're well.
First of all, I will say it's God. Yali Katonda. I'm born of a single mother. And really the situation at home wasn't all that good. But again, for us staying in Mulago, after them doing all the checkups, and they realized this is a damage that has been done, nothing else can change, we are referred to the physiotherapy department. You have to do physiotherapy or exercises almost every day, because it's also full and the attendants are few. So you find that they tell you, go back home, come back on Wednesday. So that one, when you're in Kampala and you have nowhere to stay, it became hard. But my mom is a very brave woman. So she learned those exercises, and that knowledge, she transferred it in her local context where we used to live. So she used to support me do those exercises using the basic knowledge, and that helped me to improve. I'll say that one of the best remedy for a person with cerebral palsy is physiotherapy. Because after that damage has happened, if a child doesn't do exercise, then their life will be worse. No improvement.
You know, today we are here to learn, and I'm here to learn as well, and maybe someone out there is also ready to learn. What are some of those exercises? I know you might not exhaust all of them,
yes,
but some of us will do press-up and we think it's that, or we can do sit-ups. What are some of those exercises? I said that
with cerebral palsy, we have different exercises. First of all, on the ability and the weaknesses. So my needs are not the needs of another person. So like for me, because the hands, the legs, they used to help me stand, what we call standing frames. They used to make me, like my mom, maybe she went extra mile, you know. There are those things of, how should I call it? The banana plantation, the stem, the inside stem. She used to chop it. Early in the morning, she could really, you know, massage my body, my hands, massage my legs. She could swing me in the dew. Early in the morning, that cold water. She used to do everything.
What do you mean swing?
Like early in the morning, a child, they put you in the dew. I don't know what it does. She used, as in, massage that ghee. She used to get the ghee. Yes, every morning she could massage me. She could give me things because I used not to hold anything. She could tell me hold, so I could try myself. I thank God that my cognitive part wasn't affected, because most children, cerebral palsy, their cognitive ability is affected.
Help us understand that. You know, some of us are really not into science.
I say, like, let me say their reasoning ability.
Oh, okay.
So some of them, they really pick up things very slowly, and some of them, they may not understand the theory until you initiate the practical. So you need to understand the ability and the weakness of that person.
So you go according to...
Yes.
Yeah, it shows you the path.
Yes, because I'll say this, yes, the exercises has really helped me, because I can walk, I can, you know, live independent life. But before, I couldn't walk, I couldn't sit, I couldn't feed myself. Even speech came slowly by slowly, because I could try to bring out words, but they were not clear. So you find that it really affects people differently. And to those who get it before birth or during birth at that very tender age, the effect is really much.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. I thought it's harder as you grow. What makes it, why is it harder on babies, yet their brains are still...
Because their brains are very, very delicate. And also sometimes you see, we are living in the world or in the country where diagnosis, specifically for cerebral palsy, very few medical personnel have knowledge about it. So the diagnosis itself takes long. And by the time they discover that it's cerebral palsy, you know, it has advanced, it's late. So by the time they initiate again, the intervention is late. Sometimes even the family cannot afford medication. I can tell you I used to take medication because I used to have seizures. They could come and I could really, converse. But if they had not given me medication for that, it could have resulted into epilepsy. But it was treated at the right time immediately. So with time, again it stopped, and when I used to go for checkups to Mulago, that is neuro clinic, and they reached a time they told me, you don't need medication. Because when the convulsions stopped, whenever I could take medication, again it could affect my eyes. I couldn't see clearly.
Oh my God.
So when we went back to the doctor, he said, no, stop the medication. So you can imagine that a family that is there has no capacity of accessing those medical services.
It's pretty hard.
So it becomes worse.
Yeah, it's hard.
Even if a child is to improve, so the child cannot improve.
So like, talking about improving, are there chances that you take the medicine and in the nearby future you expect a relapse, as in you go back to zero, whereby the issue is now more, let's say, of seizures, they come back again, yet you thought it's a gone case?
No, if it's treated properly, unless again you get another like sickness or accident. For example, for me, malaria treats me badly. And I'm always ready when I feel like fever, I rush the hospital because it makes more worse. Even I feel the movement is becoming hard now. So it means that you're already weak. So those other diseases can easily put you down. So meaning you need that attention and to receive the medical services from the personnel who are qualified. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So chances are, if it's not about those sicknesses, you're safe.
Yes, because like me, I feel sick like any other person. Like for now, I think I've taken like 3 years without falling sick.
So you're not on meds?
Or? No, I'm not.
Oh, that's very encouraging.
Yes, like we have a daycare section in the community. It's a community-based daycare for specifically children with severe cerebral palsy who cannot go in school, in mainstream schools. We get a doctor from Malago in a month to come and do review and checkups. So you find that there are those, a parent, they come in, we assess, we take records, and the parents tells you every day the child has to get convulsions. Agua, yes, after stiffness, muscle pulls. So they put them on medication and we keep on checking, and you see that those incidences go on reducing slowly. But again, as I had said, that it also depends how early the intervention has been initiated and how big is the injury.
Because when you talk about how early you have responded to the issue, it means you have seen a symptom or a sign. How can I see that when it comes to a baby over 1 month, 2 months, 8 months? She can't tell me. I don't know. Do they also have seizures or something?
Yes. For children, first of all, some children also, like they call it yellow fever. Is it yellow fever? Jaundice. That yellowish also affects them. A child, you can see whether their sight is okay or not.
But they, most of them have those yellow eyes when you've just given
No,
them.
there is that is serious, that even when the child is born is being put under those,
under the sun.
Yes, under the sun, they tell you because of the eyes do ABC.
Yeah.
So you be careful of such conditions because even them can damage.
So the sun is not enough. We should not
No,
be relaxed.
Like the child can be born immediately, and the doctors, the midwives realize that there is that, special equipment where the child is taken for some time. Then again, they tell you when you go home, keep putting the child under the sun. But it varies. Sometimes it comes with other effects, and it's too much. So most especially that those children, you see any child, you can see the child is somehow stiff, can be like the hand strong.
Yeah.
But if you see
They're
your
not
child
relaxed.
is just yika, you know, you just, that's one of the signs. You just know that even when the child is growing, you'll notice that children, some of them, they sit at 5 months, there is no even any sign. Yes, even if you get his hand or what, you see ayika. That is sick.
So what if you take them to the doctor and they tell you they're just a weak baby, you know? They will tell you musheshe.
Yes, actually, some doctors, not all doctors, know this condition of cerebral
Where is
palsy.
the best place to go for such cases? Most especially now
I
you see
will
these
not-
people.
I will not say like, because if you say the Ministry of Health, they will tell you our doctors are equipped. But for me, I can say that we got to know about the cerebral palsy and Vichi when we came to Mulago Hospital. That's why we got a neuro, doctor, and we're introduced to all these, the cause, they did the MRI scan, So you find that the parent down there, even those health centers, they will not be able to do the
They
MRI
don't really
scan.
have the equipment.
So, and also the medication, if they say the medication itself, it's expensive because it varies. Like here at our daycare, there are children who take a tablet, that one tablet is 2,000. And if any child has to take a tablet every day. So where will the poor family get that
I
money?
mean, even if you're...
And also seeing doctors, if you go to Mulago, the reason to why for us we said, okay, let's schedule. We wanted the parents around this area, because it's a pilot thing, to access those medical services of medical personnel who has expertise, to bring those services nearer to them. And also the children, because you could go there to spend the whole day, but not all children have been
catered.
Yes, because the personnel is one, the number is too huge. So you find that that one is also another challenge. Yeah. And again, you find that doctors are so, I don't know, because I'm not a doctor, maybe it's part of their professional ethics. They don't tell openly.
Yeah, that's an issue we talked about.
So they keep on, parents keep on going to hospital from here to here. So when they see hospital is not working again, they go these things of culture. So if really they could tell the parents
the truth
that your child has this condition, it has no cure. But if you do ABC, the child will improve.
I don't know why they
would have
wouldn't
been
even
the
say
best.
that in the first place. I mean, I have the rights on this
Yes,
child.
but they rarely reserve that, because even as we got that when it was even, I had gotten, I think, used.
Was it?
Yes, I'd gotten used. Even my parents were planning to take me back to school, and for me, Mulago, I used to say, late Dr. Dumba. Yes, and also Dr. Ivan, those were neuro. Never could not find them to Mulago. I could look for them from those other private clinics, and you see them, and that's why they said, but you know what, because my mom was like, maybe if I could take my child outside the country, they could heal. She could get cured. I said, no, this is a condition. In fact, it's now a disability. The child has to learn to live with it. So my mom was, and even it was affirmed when I grew up and I started traveling different countries. I realized that even whites, they do suffer from this disability.
With it.
And for them, it's even like severe, but because their countries are capable, they have all the technology, all the equipment.
And the awareness.
Yes, that they
People
put
are
there for
thinking,
those
"Don't go
people
here."
to be
They'll see you.
independent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, first of all, the condition itself, because up to now some people can meet me and say banange over gundi buko baloza, maybe it can be contagious, but because me now
really?
I'm an empowered woman. If I see
contagious.
you have like bias, I say hello, my name is this and this is what happening, my condition is not contagious. But again, you find that most families of those children, and that's why they lock their children inside. Because
they're embarrassed or something?
The community think never marry there. I think the condition is contagious. As in, there is a lot of myths, attached to this condition. Therefore, a lot of awareness raising needs to be done, but more so we need much support from the Ministry of Health. But I think the Department of Rehabilitation and Non-Communicable Diseases come out and sensitize the community, because we really need their support.
Tell
Minus
them.
you guys, the community, the society will never understand this condition, and therefore we shall live in rejection. Help us to create an inclusive society. Awareness is one most important step towards acceptance. Thank you.
And thank you so much for that kind of information, because guess what, someone watching, you can never know whether tomorrow it might be your child. Yeah. We are emphasizing these things because it's real life, reality. And we are living in a society where people think buko, and not being aware is actually even more dangerous, because as she said, in outside countries, people, it's severe, it's very hard, but the fact that they know what they are dealing with, you know, when you know what you're dealing with, it's better than dealing with something like that, and you're thinking it's buko, smani what. Yeah. So what, as we were starting this interview, you told us that you are head of something. What is it about, and how can someone access you?
Okay. This association, I'm one of the founders. We came out as a group after realizing that the society, even the disability movement, have very little knowledge about cerebral palsy. And that one is leading to the violation of our human rights. So we decided to come up with a joint, a joint voice to let the community know about our potentials, to let the community know that we have million reasons for them to support us.
Yeah.
So we found it that without an organization,
it will be hard.
It will be hard for us to raise awareness. Therefore, this organization was formed with the support. First of all, we started with some support from one gentleman from Denmark. He also lives with cerebral palsy, and right now he's aging. So he supported us so much when he visited Uganda, and he really realized people don't know about cerebral palsy. So we started this association.
What is the name again?
The name is Uganda National Association of Cerebral Palsy. We do advocacy, capacity building of our members. Those are the self-advocates who are living with cerebral palsy and their families. We do programs on economic empowerment, and we raise awareness. So we also look at supporting these role models to know themselves, because before you ask the community to be aware about you, are you aware of yourself?
About yourself? Yeah,
so
sure.
Those are some of the things that we really do as we call upon the society to accept us, to recognize us, to include us in the programs, because we have different abilities and we can do different things. It's a matter of giving us a little push and understanding us. We are very important people in the community.
Very important.
Yes.
Yeah, and I also use this opportunity to pass on to this information for those ones who are discriminating, people with cerebral malaria. Cerebral
palsy.
Palsy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Really? Do you have to do that? Because I mean, it's an issue, it's a disability. So we have to support each other, love each other. And that doesn't mean they are not humans. They are humans. We are all into the same basket. So support will be needed. What is that one information as we conclude that you really want to pass on to conclude about the cerebral palsy issue? Can it affect you from being a mother one day?
I would say that cerebral palsy, it depends on how the effects, because it have moderate, mild, and severe. It depends how someone has been affected, because there are those who even cannot reason, cannot do anything. But what I can say, that cerebral palsy does not affect somebody's reproductive system. During Christine, I'm a mother of a very bouncing baby boy, handsome one.
I know, right?
So I'll say that, yes, we may need support, but it's individual based. Because like for me, during my antenatal, in fact, for me, I worked up to the last moment because I had already planned for C-section. Though people were telling me, you can't, said no, I can't go into that, you know. So I had already planned for my C-section, and I came and worked here after some time. And people used to get surprised because I used to move. And by that time, I was staying in Intina, but I could travel from Intina and come here and work.
Wow.
Yes, so I delivered safely, and even I didn't get any like challenges in my maternal. So that's why I'm saying that it's individual based. That's why we need like anybody else, you need to be in the right hands when you're planning for that period.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're
It's such an
welcome.
empowering kind of information that we have had from you. And as we conclude, I need like advice to 3 people. I need advice for you to give it to someone watching, a person with cerebral palsy that needs the encouragement from you, then to the Ministry of Health, and then to the society at large.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can start with someone with cerebral palsy and they feel like they are tired. Or what can you say to them?
Now, somebody with cerebral palsy out there, a family, a caretaker, a parent, I would first of all love to say thank you. You, our hero. You mean a lot to us. In other words, that child, that family member cannot survive without you, because you were loyal of that child, you were teacher, you are the immediate doctor, you are the everything. Please, I request you to be patient. Children with cerebral palsy, they take long to you know, their development milestones are at a slow stage because of the injury they get.
The brain.
So you need to be patient. Please don't compare us. So and so is doing ABCD. I've seen parents, they come there at our daycare center. They say this one is now, but it's started coming, is now walking, but mine, or they go for surgery. One might need a surgery because maybe they have those strong muscle pulls and what, but it does not mean that even you do the same. We have different abilities and different weaknesses. So everybody is unique. Family members, we request for patience, love. Just show us love and give us a safe space to practice. I don't want to forget this, that I used not to feed myself. And my family, they could first or eat and then they feed me later, or they could feed me first and then, you know, but it was something that my family was patient with. One day my mom said, Christine, here is the food. Whether you eat or you leave, it's up to you. And you know what? I started by scooping food with my mouth from the plate. That was one of the most important steps that I recall in my life. That from there I started, you know, changing. So give them the safe space to experience and to exercise. Don't be so protective. to a person with cerebral palsy, self-acceptance is very important. You are not alone, and having cerebral palsy is not the end of it all. So believe in yourself, you can make it. Focus on your strengths, all will be okay. Then, today, to our government, the Ministry of Health, we really need you. We are living in isolation with our families because the society is not aware about this condition. A lot of myth has been attached to this condition, which has led to several marginalization and human rights abuse. We are not enjoying our being, yet we are human beings. Therefore, help us to raise awareness so that we can be fully accepted and enjoy and be able to interact within our society. To the Ministry of Education, very, very few, even if I ask now, out of the candidates who start exams, how many people with cerebral palsy, let it be primary or secondary, even campus start for exams, you might find even 0. If there are many, they can be like 2 or 1. So our constituency is illiterate. And why? Because our needs are not being addressed. The teachers, they are not trained on how to address our needs. Me, I studied, but I can't write. I used not to write. And I faced a number of challenges because I cannot sit in class and get a book and write, a pen and write. Most schools used to reject me. So we need teachers to know how we can be supported. The support, yes, it's there at UNEB, but how will I reach at UNEB exams when I'm not supported from the beginning? The daycare, the kindergarten. So they should also be oriented and sensitized to allow us, because really we don't need to be isolated. Open doors in education, as we said, that inclusive education, let it be reality. Whenever you are designing the policies, the words, just remember that there are those people who are severely affected, but they deserve a right to have education. That's why for us as a UNAC, we are really now advocating for non-formal education, that the people can be also trained on how to put on clothes and what, those small things. They make a lot of meaning to the family and to the entire society. So please look into how we can include learners with severe multiple disabilities.
Wow, that's very empowering.
Thank you.
That is very, very empowering. You can still go to school. As one thing, if I have learned something from today's talk show, is that anybody can get it. I was so surprised that you got it at 9 years. I don't know what my research was telling me, but that is very, very crucial for you to understand that you never know when it's coming. So just be equipped with this knowledge. So if you have been up to this show up to now, and you really want to help someone out there to be knowledgeable about this, just share this link. Share it to as many people as possible, so that we can create awareness. Because most of you want to create awareness by telling them, but you're really not well equipped with the information, but she is. So you can share this link to as very many people as possible. And if at all you have any other message about cerebral palsy that we have not talked about, and you feel we have left it out, it is okay. Comment down there and help us, because it's about creating awareness for everyone to understand it more and better. I'm so privileged to have had you on the show, Madam Karuji. Thank you so much for that information.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you more. I hope you have learned something. Even if it's 1 or 2, it's enough. You can spread it and help someone out there know more about themselves and know more about the society and the issues that we are dealing with. I love you so much. My name is Mbabazi Anna, and I've been your host for today. Have a blessed life. God bless you all.